Back is time. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Green, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, once again I rise, stand in the well of the House of Representatives. As a proud American, Mr. Speaker, it is always an honor to stand in the well of the House of Representatives. And Mr. Speaker, I rise today to speak truth to power as well as speak truth about power. The power that I desire to speak truth to is the Speaker of the House. And I want to say something about the Speaker of the House. Today, I want to acknowledge the Speaker's righteousness. When he made a decision, I'm not sure that it is one that he contemplated with any degree of time, but at some point, there was a decision made to allow articles of impeachment that I filed to move forward such that there could at least be a vote to table or not. He did not interfere with the process. He did not try to change the rules so that there would be no opportunity for a member to move impeachment forward to the extent that we did. And I'm proud of Mr. Speaker Ryan for doing this because as a result, I hold in my hand what I call the historic 58. 58 people, members of Congress, some of whom were ranking members of full committees, who voted to allow this process to move forward. And on a second occasion, 66 members, the historic 66, voted to allow the process to move forward. Did not try to circumvent the process, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Ryan did not. And for this, I want to say I am grateful. I respect him for not trying to circumvent the process. And Mr. Speaker, had he tried to circumvent it, I probably would be standing here saying some words that would not be similar in any way to what I'm saying currently. I'm mentioning this because there is a question that has been put to me by many members of the press as to whether or not we will move forward again with impeachment. And I am here to say, without question, reservation, or hesitation, that we should not allow ourselves to get back to bigotry as usual. There seems to be a desire to avoid the question of bigotry emanating from the presidency. There seems to be a desire to move on to something else. Let's find another way to deal with the problem. But that's not what the people who suffer from the bigotry have to endure, just the conversations. They have to deal with the actual bigotry, the actual ugliness that is being fostered across the length and breadth of this country as a result of the bigotry. There are people who are suffering. The culture is changing. Bigotry is real, and people have to deal with it. Because they do, I don't think we should allow bigotry to go unnoticed as it emanates from the presidency. And because I don't think so, I will make an announcement sometime next week, more than likely, as to whether or not we will have additional articles of impeachment brought before the House. I've never interfered with the Mueller investigation, don't intend to interfere with it, but I just believe that we ought not allow bigotry to go unnoticed. We ought not try to get to a point in this country where we will allow bigotry to be nothing more than a talking point. It ought to be an action item. The greatest place to ascertain whether or not it's an action item is how we as members of Congress not only talk about it, but how do we vote when the issue is given an opportunity to be voted upon. So I thank you for the time, Mr. Speaker, and I assure you that I will make an announcement sometime within the near future as to whether or not there will be another vote on bigotry emanating from the presidency. And I also, again, thank you for not circumventing the process. Republicans had a majority, and you could have done it without a single Democratic vote. You respected the right of individual members. It is the right of the individual that you have protected under your leadership, and I pray that that protection will continue. I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back his time. Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities toward the President.